also welcome you all to the journal of 11th International Conference Artificial Intelligence, Soft Computing and Application, AIAA 2021. Thank you for having me once again today. I really appreciate this opportunity. So to start with, are you all seeing my screen?
Yep, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay. So today I will be talking on my article title is Interactive Dashboard Design for Manager, Data Analyst, and Data Scientist Perspective. Once again, my name is Temitope Olubunmi Awodiji, and I prefer to be called Temi because that is pretty much convenient. I'm a graduate of Computer Information Science, California Miramar University, California, USA. I'm a data scientist, a business intelligence analyst. I currently work in a financial industry. I have up to 10 years of experience, and my focus is pretty much on data analysis and dashboard creation while ensuring corporate standard. My agenda of the agenda of my presentation today, I'll be talking on what is a dashboard, the key uses of dashboard, the most used dashboard, best practices of dashboard. I will also be talking on the traditional dashboard solution if I have more time. Then I will be talking on implementation of dashboard. The last but not the least is going to be dashboard solution demo, which means I'm going to be doing a demonstration, so to say. What is a dashboard? The answer depends on who you're actually asking when you're asking about dashboard. For most IT and business intelligent people, they define dashboard, they call it, it's a visual representation of your company's key performance indication. That is a kind of simple definition. And I define it as a dashboard is an information management tool that visually track, explain, or break down and show key performance indicator, metrics, and key data points to monitor the well-being of a business, department, and explicit process. I've come to realize that with large amount of unstructured data being produced every day, organizations are trying to extract as much relevant information as possible. This means that this massive quantity of data is collected from a variety of sources. When we're talking about different sources, we can think about a database, we can think about Excel files, we can just think anything you can think of. Like some people, they use ServiceNow, some people use container. So that is what I mean by different sources. And data analysts and data scientists, they use it to create a dashboard that provide a complete, I beg your pardon. This massive quantity of data is collected from a variety of sources, and data analysts and data scientists, they use it to create a dashboard that provide a complete picture of the organization performance. And I will give you a simple scenario. We can think about a sales team, like whereby their manager, the head of the department, wants a data analyst to create a dashboard. So basically, I would like to talk about the goal of my research. My research will tell you how to implement a dashboard and how to use it to tell business story using KPIs. My research will also tell you how to use dashboard to deliver business impact I mentioned earlier on that my research would tell you, we teach you the best practices of dashboard. It also tell you you also learn in this my article the difference between traditional dashboard and business dashboard if I have more time. So that is pretty much. So I will continue. I also define a dashboard as a simple to read, like it's pretty much a simple to read. It usually comes in a single page. Real-time user interface, it usually demonstrates a graphical introduction of a particular status or snapshot. We can also talk about, call it like it's also demonstrate an historical trend of an organization, or computer appliances, key performance indicator to enable immediate and informed choices to be made briefly. So we are talking about key performance indicator. The end results we think about on how to strategize, like, okay, what are we doing well? What are we not doing well? If a dashboard is being created, it's open the eyes of the sales team, the manager, the stakeholders on what that needs to be done after a successful dashboard creation. So the key uses, the major uses of a KPI is to control human requirement management, is to drive change, is to make for decision making, to create competition. It's like, for example, when the number 5, the basis for reward and compensation. Like if a dashboard is created where a particular organization, they are able to know who is doing better, who is performing among the employee, who is performing well, who is not performing well. It's really give them like a better insight to how well people are doing. The last of among them is to analyze value drivers. We have 3 most used dashboard. These are the operational dashboard, analytical dashboard, strategic dashboard. And I'm going to explain it one after the other. The operational dashboard, this is pretty much the simplest and most popular kind of dashboard. It usually shows the real-time changes in data for various operations. This is pretty much a visualization tool that helps to track business operations and provide us with an updated performance report. Analytical dashboard. This is the type of dashboard that uses data from previous reports to make further decisions. This is also used to track changes. It's used to predict the result and conclusion as well. In analytical dashboard, we can drill through. There is something we call drill through in data analysis. Analytical dashboard, we can also use pivot table there, like in terms of Excel. So it's basically have some feature that is available. These are pretty much the features that is available in analytical dashboard. The last but not the least of them is the strategic dashboard. This dashboard helps the managers and stakeholders to determine the current state of the organization. With strategic dashboard, the area of improvement can be detected, and ways to avoid business disruption can also be established. So this is a very good example of operational dashboard. this is this shows the data set. This shows the report of 1 second. Okay, back to operational dashboard. So this pretty much shows like a data set of how many people that sign up for a particular product online. So within 7 days, we have 2,130. So this is pretty much a card. It's one of the visualization tools that we can find on one of the traditional dashboard. We can have, I would like to use like Power BI as a user case. So the card we can use, this is pretty much a card like I mentioned earlier on. Also, this also showed the revenue in the last 7 days. The revenue that was made in the last 7 days, which is like $4,000 to 4,250. We also have the visitors in the last 7 days. How many visitors visited? They are about 4,210. This chart also show the sources where the sources that is available. So we have the Google, we have the Facebook, we have the LinkedIn, we have email marketing. This chart also show the monthly sign-ups from January to December. This also shows the chart of monthly visitors by source: Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and email marketing. And the last of them all, this is a matrix. It's also one of the visualization tools that we can find in Power BI. This shows the top performing support agents. So this is analytical dashboards. This also shows the ad cost trend widget. This also shows the number of people that visited and the number of people that clicks, the ad clicks. It shows that is shown in red color. I also have here the cost per click. So this gauge widget shows the clock per click. Here shows the ad impression historic widget. Total page views, which is 252,292. And the last of them is total visits. So the strategic dashboard shows the breakdown according to the data that was provided. It shows the team goals, like what they are trying to achieve within the year. It also shows the critical team issues. It shows the month task, like what is expected of each of the team members. So that is pretty much about strategic dashboard. I also have here the characteristics of a good dashboard design. Dashboard, when you're talking about dashboard, is usually come in a audio visualization fit on a single PC screen. You can see a very good example of it in my last 3 slides. A good dashboard also demonstrates the most important performance indicator, as well as the performance measure to be checked. A good dashboard design, it should be able to discover the correlation, the trends, exemption, and also show some irregularities, as well as the business condition in the data. The last one among the characteristics of a good dashboard talked about the interactivity, for example, filtering, and drill down can be used in a dashboard. Also, those kind of activities ought not to be required to see which performance indicators are failing to meet expectation. You will understand better during my demo on how this will show you how the dashboard, how interactive my dashboard is. The common dashboard pitfalls. This is more like a limitations. On every dashboard, we need to always keep it simple we need to keep it simple. We need not to show too much details because when it's too like cumbersome, it does not really look good to the end user. We also need to we need not also to lose sight of the big picture. Before we started creating the creation of dashboard, there was a goal, there was a motive before we started it. So losing sight of the big picture, we shouldn't lose sight of the big picture. We shouldn't also try to satisfy everyone because everyone basically like everyone have their own opinion about a dashboard, how it needs to look like. So which means that as a data analyst, as a data scientist, you need to really understand the do's and don'ts of the analysis you're creating, the dashboard precisely that you're creating. Also, a very common mistake is starting off with too much complexity. I call it, I ascribe to the KISS principle. So we need to always keep it simple we need to keep it simple, basically. The last one here is getting carried away with the design features. In as much that it is very important to be creative, we need not to get carried away when we are creating our dashboard. So I will talk about the implementation of dashboard and how it works. And this will lead me to the demo that I'm trying to show you. So the first thing I think about when I want to create a dashboard, when a data set is sent to me by my manager, is I ask questions. I try as much as possible to ask questions. What are we trying to achieve? What is the expectation of the stakeholders? What is the expectation of the end users? So after then, what I do next is I format my data sets, because most of the data set, they are unstructured. I format it because most time they come in Excel file. So I format it, I format the table first, and I make sure like the excesses are not included. After which, like I clean the data. I clean it in SQL, Server Management Studio. And after doing that, I'm trying to talk about the design now. After doing all the cleaning, removing the missing data set, because those are the common issues which I usually come across when I'm creating I want to create a dashboard. I try as much as possible to clean the data, to remove the missing data set, to remove the duplicated data sets where it's not needed. And also, I usually come across some errors like the data type. So I need to change it to the right data type. Then after doing all that, I upload in Power BI. on Power BI, the first thing first that I usually do is I look at the relationship. I try to create the data model for all the data set that I have. So most time Power BI would have created some, and sometimes it just leaves some behind. So I need to look at it to see the relationship between the data, all the data that I have, then I try as much as possible to create it in the right way. So after doing that, I go to my data. I try to get familiarized with all the data set that is provided to be able to create a good dashboard. Now I'm talking about building the dashboard. So while creating the dashboard, I go to data visualization. So one of the good practice is I try to create a measure. Create a measure for my visualization. So deploying, after I have done everything, I present it to my manager for review. And for review pretty much before presenting it to my stakeholder. That is where deployment come up. So I make it live on Power BI server. So now I'm going to show you my demo, basically. 1 second. One second. One second. I'm trying to find my okay, pardon me. So this is my dashboard. This is the dashboard I created, and this is usually how this is what the business requests look like. So this is a sales manager. He wanted me to create. He told me that they need to improve the internet sales report. He wanted me to move. They wanted to move from static report to visual dashboard. So the key points are the ones I highlighted. I purposely highlighted these so that we can know the major thing to work on for me to create my requirement, to gather my requirement. So he also mentioned that the focus, we want to focus it on how much we have sold of what products to which client and how it has been over time. Seeing as each salesperson works on different products and customers, it will be beneficial to be able to filter them also. We measure our numbers against budget, so I added that in a spreadsheet so we can compare our values against performance. The budget is for 2021 and we usually look 2 years back. So pretty much what this is saying is that the manager needed me to work only on 2021 to create a dashboard for the sales team, and wants me to work on this year, 2021, only. So now I'll walk you through the process. So this is the requirement I gathered. So I want to create a Power BI dashboard which update data once a day. So the dashboard is going to be interactive. So anytime I update it, I'm gonna work on it in such that it updates itself every day. So this is pretty much the requirement that I gathered. Also, I talked about the cleaning of data earlier on. This is the query I created in SQL Server Management Studio. As you can see, this is not very clean. So the data are just like the variables are kind of too long, and there's a way to clean it. I can always clean it and make it a little bit shorter. So now the data is clean. As you can see, it's better. It's a lot better now. The size reduced. So I renamed. So what I did was I renamed some of the variables to reduce the size. I did all that in SQL Server Management Studio. So after doing that, I saved my data. I save it in Excel. I save it in a file. I save it in CSV precisely, so that I could use it in Power BI for my data analysis. So what I did next was like I uploaded the data. I uploaded the result I got from SQL Server Management. Then I uploaded. I loaded it in Power BI, and after doing that, I mentioned earlier on that I was going to create a data module. This is it. This is the data module that I created. And this is the end result. So the end result I'm going to show you. This is the interactive. One second. So this is the interactive dashboard that I created based on the business need. So as you can see, this shows the customer seated each location. So you can see that my visualization is, they are all in one page and they are not looking cumbersome. So if I click on Ballard, it automatically shows the result for Ballard. This is the KPI. So the sales by top 10 based on Martin's request, which happened to be the sales manager. Look at Robert. Robert has the highest sales. This is for Robert Clark. So if I click on Robert, so this is the report of Robert. So 2,473. So if I'm talking about the product category, let's look at bikes. How many bikes did Robert sold? So this is the value of the bikes he sold. So that is pretty much about dashboard. Because I would not want to waste so much of your time so that we can move further. So that I can have some time to answer some questions if there are any. So my conclusion. So choosing the correct visualization is very key to make sure our end user understand what they are looking at, because we don't want to confuse them. Yet that is not all you ought to consider. When we're contemplating about how to design a dashboard, you need to put in consideration who will be the end user of the dashboard. Basically, you need to think like the end user. Is my dashboard, is it solving the end user report problems? Is it meeting their needs? Those are the things we need to put in consideration. For instance, when designing a dashboard for an end user, we need to focus on the ad platform optimization. You might also need to focus on metrics that will increase conversion rates, because most end users will be in the loop of what goes on with every ad on a day-to-day level. So this is pretty much about my visualization, about my dashboard. So thank you.